My guest this evening started his very first business at the tender age of 6. He was selling beverages to farm workers. At the age of 21, he'd made his first million and is one of the top 20 global entrepreneurs invited by Richard Branson to visit his island home of Necker to discuss the future of the world. This is Tonight. I'm Bruce Whitfield, and tonight we speak to businessman Ettiene Pretorius, a man with a burning desire to become one of the world's top entrepreneurs. What drives you? What makes you want to be the world's top entrepreneur? What makes you want to be better than Branson?
It's actually, it's the definition of success. And when I speak to people all over the world, I always try and explain to them that if you can define your definition of success, then you can define your passion and your goals and everything and your values. You can streamline that according to what your passion is.
You sound like a motivational speaker, not a businessman.
Well, motivational, I'll get to motivation in a second because the paradigm is first before you get to motivation. And so my definition of success personally is the power of my choices that I make in life that influences other people to be significant. And that drives me.
You're going to have to run that past me again. The power, you do what?
The power of my choices that I make in life that influences other people to be significant.
Okay, but you start your business career, you grew up on a farm in the Lowveld, White River, you sell dops to farm workers. In the Western Cape, that might be considered immoral.
Yeah, well, looking back at it, I mean, I get asked that question, I was like, how can you sell alcohol at the age of 6? And that is the point I'm trying to make, because at the age of 6, sometimes you just don't know what's the difference between right and wrong. You just do what needs to get done. The older we get, the more we try and analyze things, the more we're trying to make sense of things, and the more we think, the less we get done. So at the age of 6, I realized there's 350 workers on the farm. They walk 15 kilometers to town. They have to walk 15 kilometers to buy their beverages Saturdays and Sundays. All I need to do is supply them with beverages. That's it. It's a simple economic term. Just supply and demand.
Did the local bottle store sell a 6-year-old booze?
No, I had to actually.
Just checking.
So my first loan was with my mom and dad, and I went to them. I said, "Listen, I need to borrow some money." And back then, it was 1988. I was 6 years then, and I borrowed 2,000 Rand from them, and I went with my mum. She was driving in this Caravel combis, and we went and I walked to the shop. I said I need Black Label quarts because that's their preference drink. VO brandy, I'll never forget it, the little half jacks. VO brandy and Smirnoff vodka. And that was their drink of choice. And it was simple, you just buy it. I borrow money from my mum, simple.
But what's the inspiration for a 6-year-old to understand the laws of supply and demand at that point?
You asked me a little bit earlier, where does the motivation come from? Motivation is something that is a result of a paradigm that you live in, because everything starts with a thought. All right. Second of all, you make a decision in life. And thirdly, you take action. But the biggest problem is there's no validation. And after people receive a validated comment on their action that they took, then it's easy. Then it kicks into motivation, drive, and passion. But the problem is the paradigm that you live in. That's your map of life. If I give you a map of Pretoria, but I wrote there Joburg, I mean, it doesn't matter what you read on the map. You're in Joburg on the map, but the map's wrong. And that's called a frame of reference, your paradigm you live in. And my paradigm was, I'm privileged to have a paradigm that was formed and created for me at a very, very young age. Then it's so easy to live life to the fullest.
But you make your first million at a time where most people are chasing girls.
Can you do both?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really made the first million, so nor have I chased that many girls. But yes,
it was at the age of 21. It's also the same principle yet again. I knew that in Potchefstroom, I studied in Potchefstroom. I was in my 3rd year in varsity, and I realized there's a huge demand for sectional title units. And I walked out of one of the friends' houses, and I realized that I actually stood there and I said, listen, I'm going to buy my first house and I'm going to do the development.
Where did that money come from?
Investors, because here's the thing, the deal and the market was good enough and the money followed. So I had one of my friends, I approached them, and his mother had some loose cash, and we started development, did the deal, and then the rest is history. You know, it's easy then because the market was booming, everything was in the increase. So then it's easy to get financing and people to believe in the project, because we bought it at 320,000 Rand. The next day, Pam Golding came to me and they said, listen, I'll offer you 550. So I realized, you know, something's changing in the market.
You're 32 years old.
31, please.
31 going on 32. Yeah. 31 going on 32. Yeah. You're worth what?
Loosely.
But
influential.
money is a big motivator for you.
Absolutely not. Because you know what the thing is? People with money aren't always influential, but influential people always has money.
You've got people who motivate you, who influence you. There's a guy called JT Fox.
That's correct.
What has he done in terms of taking you from a local Porch perspective and giving you more of a global perspective?
The thing, JT Fox is one of the greatest wealth coaches that I've ever met. The thing with him is he knows which screw to turn at the right time. And when you have your 10,000 hours built up in your entire
life. So you're a Gladwell follower, yes?
Absolutely. I mean, the 10,000 hour rules is a principle I live by. And you have to educate yourself to build up that 10,000 hours. But the question is, what do you do with the 10,000 hours? Now you've got this packet and this package that you can utilize, and you can share it with the world, but you're not branded. And that is one of the biggest problems. So my coach, JT Fox, which did a phenomenal change. He created a paradigm shift where it says, right, now you've got everything. How do we brand you? How do we market you? And how do we get you into stages and into the world out there? How does the world know about you? Because I know a lot of people. Do they know me? That's the real question. And he's played such a big role in my life.
How do you get connected to Branson? Because one of the reasons you're here, of course, is not only to talk about how you make a quick buck in property, but you're also going on a little swim around an island.
A little swim.
How big is Necker Island, Richard Branson's island?
It's the circumference. I think it's about just over 5 kilometers.
Okay, so it's a little bit. It's not quite the Robben Island, Cape Town swim.
No,
it's probably a bit warmer.
Yeah,
and there'll be some big fish in the water. Because what you're doing is you're going on a charity swim around Necker Island.
That's correct.
Tell me about how that connection happened.
So through all the connections, all about stepping stones. One guy introduces you, one guy. So I got to JT Fox, and it's all about introduction. And because JT is so well connected as well, the whole invite came via all the connections that we've built up over the last year or so.
How did that invite arrive? Did it arrive in a little envelope, via email, via a phone call from that nice Mr. Branson?
Specifically from it via JT Fox himself, and the invite came via him and said, listen, let's get Ettiene on the island, we need his input. And I obviously embraced the whole invitation, and I need to give thanks to him as well. But it's all about the stepping stones getting to.
Have you met Branson?
I've been to the Success Summit. That's actually how. Let me put it this way. When I was 19 years old, I created my vision board, and right in the middle of the vision board. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, but vision board without action is just a dream. So,
all right. I told you sound like a motivational speaker. Hallelujah. Carry on.
Well, influential. So, right in the middle is this big picture of Richard Branson. Unfortunately, I didn't take a picture or anything, but right in the middle, I put Richard Branson there because I idolized the way he thinks. It's out of the box. You know, sometimes he doesn't think out of the box. He throws the box away completely. Okay, and that's what Richard Branson. He inspired me so much to be influential and enjoy life and enjoy business. And this is what this trip is about, because it's about having a balanced lifestyle. The problem is we all grow up with a paradigm that a businessman at the age of 55 is probably going to suffer from heart diseases, he's fat, he's greedy, he walks over people to get what he wants in life. And that is not the truth. What's really the truth?
No, well, that is the reality. I have to disagree that that's not the truth. It is a very real truth that people get into those positions because there are a lot of bodies left in their wake, and they're not at the peak of their health and the peak of their fitness, but they've achieved and they're rich
and they're greedy,
and possibly greedy and massively influential.
Well, first of all, perception is your reality. I mean, and that is what this challenge is about, is changing the perception of South Africans and the rest of the world. Because if we change a perception, we change reality. We create a new frame of reference and a new paradigm.
So what are you seeking to achieve by going for a dip in the ocean around Necker Island?
First of all, once you're on Necker Island, you're there with some of the top people in the world, and you've got this opportunity to be influential and bring back a message to South Africa. And that is my success that I want to share with the rest of the world, is being influential. Second of all, I need to train for Ironman 3 weeks after that. And the only reason I can train is swimming around the island and running around the island, because there's nowhere else to go. And then thirdly is, while I'm swimming, why can't I raise money for charity? Why can't I give back to the community? So I want to be influential. I want to have a balanced lifestyle, still train for Ironman, network with some of the world's top people, and then
How do you define top people? Because the top people, the real top people, the guys at Goldman Sachs will define themselves as the top people. I bet they're not there.
Let me put it, as I said, my definition of it is, it's how influential you are. How influential.
How do you define influence?
Influence is the choices and the decisions you make in life, how you inspire people. And when some people actually, people with money, like I said, people with money aren't always influential, okay? And if I have to wrap it up in my words of what I would say people out there should realize is that don't follow money, follow influence, and go out there and inspire people.
But money's a big motivator for you, come on.
No, it's not. Oh,
give it away. Go on.
Let me give it away.
If it doesn't matter, you should give it away, shouldn't you?
Well,
you talk about making your first million at the age of 21. You've set goals for yourself. It is important. If it's not important,
I have donated $500,000 to Virgin Unite as well. So I do give away a little bit, if I have to say, because.
But is money the enabler? Is it the tool?
It's a tool.
Okay.
It's a tool. You know, people. Are my passion. People, I love people. Money is just a tool to get you from A to B. And it's purely, if the second you realize that money is just a tool and a way to get to a certain point, then you start living, you know, and that's what the endurance races also does for me. It's about understanding the principles in life. Because if you fall back on principles, then you can achieve basically anything. It's all about principles.
Is Branson swimming with you?
We're still working on that. I don't know if he can. We're still working on the 5 kilometer. He does swim. Okay. The question is he going to swim all 5 kilometers? That's the real. Yeah. So we're still trying to say, listen, can you swim the full 5, or you know, or you're going to swim a while? And then
look, he's a good guy. He's up for it.
He's always screw it, let's do it type of attitude, you know. And we got Nike also as a sponsor involved, and Best Med and all those guys. And you know, it's the.
You're going to be logoed to your gills. I mean, there's going to be the Speedo's not a very big space. You might need some tattoos.
Yeah. Thanks for the Speedo not being a big place, but
some Speedos are bigger than ours.
Yeah.
Etienne, we wish you luck with it, and I look forward to seeing your tweets, because you're going to be doing lots of social media stuff. You're going to be keeping us up to speed with what's going on there, and we look forward to seeing how you influence the world. Ettiene Pretorius, he is from Porch to Necker Island. His schoolmates will never believe it. Thank you for watching. There'll be more tomorrow here on CNBC Africa. Good night.